It is an honor to join Eswatini today in commemorating International Women's Day 2021 under the theme Women in Leadership, Achieving an Equal Future in a COVID-19 World. It is with great pleasure that we commemorate this day today with an official handover of the Raleigh-Fitkin Memorial Female Ward, courtesy of Standard Bank Eswatini. Standard Bank continues to contribute towards the development of the economic and social well-being of Eswatini by partnering with both private and public sectors. Through its corporate and social responsibility, CSR, the bank has intensified its support towards development of the SME sector, which has been impacted greatly by the COVID-19 pandemic, and for this, its efforts are greatly applauded. In light of the above, the bank cannot shun their contribution to the health sector, which is also amongst their focus areas. They continue to identify meaningful ways to provide financial assistance to mitigate the effects of the pandemic. Standard Bank Eswatini has contributed 1.5 million emalangeni towards the rehabilitation of the Raleigh-Fitkin Memorial Female Ward. The project forms part of the bank's signature CSR initiatives under the health pillar, which has been identified as a key he-for-she initiative. The he-for-she movement invites men and women to stand in solidarity for gender equality, Eswatini. Gender equality is a fundamental human right. Standard Bank Group has committed through partnering with UN Women to help create a gender equal world. We pledge to take deliberate actions to create a world where gender equity becomes a reality in the workplace, as well as speaking against the alarming rate of gender-based violence in Eswatini. We look forward to seeing more men taking a center stage in speaking against gender-based violence and playing a role in ensuring violence and exploitation against children and women in Eswatini stops. The sponsorship came through after media reports published via our local dailies that the female ward has been forced to close due to its dilapidated state in 2019. True to the bank's mantra, it can be, the bank committed funds to rehabilitate the structure in line with its commitment towards contributing to improved access to health for women. The Standard Bank continues to find new ways to make the dreams of Eswatini possible through its significant contribution towards the country's health fraternity. 2020 saw the commencement of the rehabilitation project through a partnership with Micro Projects, who was selected as the project coordinator on behalf of Standard Bank. The ward is now fully rehabilitated with state-of-the-art fittings and beds, a structure built in line with COVID-19 regulations. It must be pointed out that this ward is the first of its kind in Eswatini. This particular ward, after rehabilitation, now houses 100 patients, caters for the admission of women suffering chronic illnesses at Raleigh-Fitkin Memorial, Previously, the ward had the capacity to take 150 patients. However, it has now been adjusted to align to COVID standards. This is a commendable strategy. The National Resource Mobilization Committee partnered with funding worth 1.1 million emalangeni for the purchase of new beds and flooring of the facility. In commemoration of International Women's Day 2021, it gives me pleasure to officially hand over the facility to RFM with the hope that it will improve access to health to Eswatini women and furthermore provide health care services in a conducive environment. It must be highlighted that, I quote, "A woman's health is her capital." In closing, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the bank and key partners involved in seeing this project come to fruition for their continued support towards the development of health infrastructure in Eswatini. I thank you. May God bless you.
Siyavusela sive semaswati siba se-Standard Bank umsebenzi lesihlangane ngawo namuhla kutowenda setfulo njobe sive besibikile kiso ukuthi sitawuhamba siyosita e-RFM Hospital kaManzini. We know that RFM Hospital is the most central hospital and accessible in the country. There's a female ward that has not been in a good state of use at the Raleigh Fitkin Memorial Hospital. So we've evaluated this over time as a bank and have made a decision last year to go and do a rehabilitation of that ward. Now in the advent of COVID-19, any bed in hospital is very important. So we have, as a bank, decided to partner with the Resource Mobilization Committee to mobilize funds to rehabilitate that female ward in Manzini Raleigh Fitkin Memorial Hospital. This work has been coming for a long time because the ward has not been in a state of use for quite some time. But I would like to thank Micro Projects for coordinating the work with the contractors that helped us to start and finish the work at the hospital. It's now been completed because it was the roofing, the electronics, the floor, the painting, the windows, almost, starting rehabilitating and making that ward new, including the purchase of beds and the flooring. As a Standard Bank, we contributed 1.5 million to this work, and we thank the directors, the management board and staff of Standard Bank for allowing us to spend this money to help our women colleagues. It is Women's Month. It is International Women's Day coming up on the 8th of March. We do commemorate that day with this work where we partner with our female colleagues to make sure that they are not left behind in issues of development, particularly in issues of health, because we know you cannot postpone health situations. When they come, you have to deal with them as and when they present themselves. So this word is going to be very helpful in helping chronic cases that women face on a day-to-day basis, and we hope that the Raleigh Fitkin Memorial Hospital management and staff will be happy to be able to reuse the word that has been out of use for a couple of years. As a bank, health is a very key focus area for us under CSI, so we found it very noble and important for us to play a role in helping Emaswati access health services. The contribution of the bank, as I said earlier, is 1.5 million. We then also got in contribution from the Resource Mobilization Committee that was put together to help funding for COVID-19 response for the country. And we then approached them for the balance, which was 1.4 million. So in total, this work costs 2.9 million emalangeni, which will go a long way in helping the health sector in the kingdom, and we really appreciate all the partners that have worked with us until this project was delivered. It's not an overnight project. We had intentions of finishing this work last year, but due to movement of goods restrictions and movement of people restrictions, we're not able to source all the material in time, but we've since been able to finish the rehabilitation and refurbishing of the hospital ward. And we thank all the partners that I've already listed. We thank the government of the Kingdom of Eswatini for partnering with us in also helping them achieve their objective of better health for all, and also the Minister of Health that we worked with on the ground, and the management of the Raleigh King Memorial Hospital, who wrote to us some time back requesting this assistance, and we're very excited that finally it's come to fruition, and finally this ward can be put to use. And this ward has been rehabilitated to take into account all the COVID-19 health guidelines as published by WHO and the Ministry of Health. So the distancing of the beds inside the wards are completely in line with the COVID regulations from the Ministry of Health. So we're very excited as a bank to partner with the Kingdom of Eswatini in making health accessible to our female colleagues in that female ward in Manzini. I thank you very much.
It is with great joy today that I am able to be part of this wonderful occasion of reopening of the renovated female medical ward at the Raleigh King Memorial Hospital. I will tell you why I'm so happy about this. We are coming out of a very difficult year, and having this ward closed because it wasn't fit for human habitation, it was putting a lot of pressure on Babane Government Hospital and other hospitals around. The Raleigh King Memorial Hospital is a historical hospital in this country. Not only was it started in the 1920s, I think it was opened in 1925 by missionaries, and it served the nation as one of the central hospitals and referral hospitals of this country. So it is understandable that some of the structures would be old, would be dilapidated, and needing a lot of care and attention. But what is more important about this hospital, there are many famous people that were born here. I think one of the things we pride ourselves about is the fact that His Majesty King Mswati III was born in this hospital. In fact, there's a space dedicated and a room dedicated to that memory. And in that room, you will find the register that was kept on that day where the Queen Mother actually wrote and signed. You will find the record of his birth in there. So it is a very important hospital for the nation. It is important because it's central, it serves the nation, it's important because of its historical background. I would like to thank the Standard Bank for having the foresight of dedicating so much of their resources, 2,435,155 emalangeni and 40 cents, to renovate this 45-bed female medical ward. I would go into lengths at how important this is, how important it is to look after women and women's health. And it is really one of these things that are very close to my heart, to make sure that women are safe, they are safe giving birth, they are safe after birth, they are safe looking after their families and looking after themselves. I'm not just saying this about women. We talk about women and men, but today we're talking about a female medical ward. So on behalf of the Minister of Health, on behalf of His Majesty's government, I would like to thank Standard Bank for this generous offer. And I'm really excited. This is is one of the joyful things I'm doing in coming out of a very hard year. So thank you very much. I would also like to give a vote of thanks to those that have added their weight into doing this work. The support from microprojects, the support from NDMA, without whom this project would not have been possible. So thank you all. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good day. It is an honor and a privilege that as we are commemorating International Women's Day 2021, we are also officially handing over the Relic Fitkin Memorial Female Ward. This project is proudly sponsored by Standard Bank, Eswatini, and the COVID-19 National Resource Mobilization Committee, Resources. The mandate of the National Resource Mobilization Committee is to facilitate collaboration between the private and public sectors to support key national activities and projects. And the key mandate, especially at this point in time, is supporting the COVID or the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. The rehabilitation of the RFM female ward is one of such key national projects that we have worked together with Standard Bank Eswatini. The ward was shut down in the latter part of 2019 due to its dilapidated state, and this rendered over 100 women unable to access health services for chronic illnesses. Standard Bank, in partnership with the National Resource Mobilization Committee, saw it necessary to support Emaswati, especially women who are generally the most disenfranchised in the kingdom, by contributing to the rehabilitation of the female ward at RFM and restoring it to full working capacity and functionality. As partners, we appreciate the support we received from micro projects who were on the ground working on this project, as they were tasked with ensuring the successful implementation of the project towards the end of last year, finishing off early this year. The offices of the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Health were strategic partners in the alliance to see this project undertaken and completed. We also applaud the work done by the RFM board, management and staff in ensuring that today becomes possible. They were able to create a makeshift ward to continue caring for the patients formerly housed in the newly refurbished female ward. The continued dedication and life-saving work is commended and appreciated by us all, and we want to say thank you to the RFM for this sterling job. The partnership between the National Resource Mobilization Committee and Standard Bank is a long-standing coalition as the bank continually reinforces its purpose statement, Eswatini is our home, we drive her growth. To complete the project initiated by Standard Bank, the COVID-19 Resource Mobilization Committee augmented the resources made available by the bank of approximately 1.5 million emalangeni. We contributed an additional 1.4 million emalangeni. The main items funded by the resources from the National Resource Mobilization Committee include the following: 25 folding mechanical beds and mattresses, electrical works installation, firearm installation, and ward vinyl floor sheeting. The project is now fully rehabilitated with state-of-the-art fittings and beds in a structure that adheres to the World Health Organization standards for public facilities in the COVID-19 era, a first of its kind in Eswatini. We are optimistic that this project will be an enabler for women in the Kingdom of Eswatini to have access to quality health care services in a conducive environment. In closing, we wish all women in Eswatini a happy International Women's Day. We honor you, ladies, for your strength, resilience, and courage, and the many important and pivotal roles you play in our society. Additionally, I would like to again extend my sincere appreciation to Standard Bank, the entire membership committee members of the National Resource Mobilization Committee, and all other stakeholders who have been involved in seeing the manifestation of this sterling project come to realization, a key initiative towards the development of the health infrastructure in the Kingdom of Eswatini. We wish everybody of the best as we continue striving to fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. As a nation, we have the resilience and we shall together win. I thank you all.
Mhlonishwa lo bambele ndvuna nkulu imbonga Themba Masuku, nemhlonishwa indvuna yetempilo imbonga Lizinkosi, namabhalane lomkhulu wasetiko letempilo Dr. Simon Zwane, nemphathi jikelele wa Standard Bank Eswatini umnumzane Mvuselelo Fakutse, na chairman we National Resource Mobilization Committee Dr. Phil Mnisi. Your Excellency, nato tonke timenywa letigcavile. Ngineligabho namhla ekseni ngikhulumela iNazarene Health Institutions kanye nelibhodi lakhona netisebenti tonke takhona. Ngokuthi sitenge tawubonga. Sibonga uNkulunkulu losinikile lethuba ngokuthi sihlangane namhla sitawukwati kufakaza leligalelo lelendekile kokuthi sikhona ukuthi siyithole leliwadi selilungisiwe lokwendeke ngemandla eStandard Bank Eswatini kanye ne National Resource Mobilization Committee. Lelanga lelanamuhla lamhla ka8 March lilanga lapho umhlaba wonke ugubha lisuku labomake. Lilanga lelikahle kokuthi likhethwe ukuthi livule leliwadi leli labomake. Ngesizathu sekokuthi sidingile vele kokuthi sibe nako kunakekela bomake netindvombi letisukela eminyakeni ma13 years kuya etulu. Sithi masithi siyabuka telibalo tikhomba kokuthi 57% webantu labakhona lapha eveni laseSwatini bantu laba bomake. Le mali lesetshenzisiwe kulungisa leli wadi imali lenganga 2,435,155 emalangeni na 40 cents. Siyabonga kakhulu kokuthi leli wadi leli livulwa ngesikhathi lapho sidinge kakhulu kuba nendzabo lapho ukuthi silaphe bomake khona ngoba kubhedvuke nasi sifo se-COVID-19. Ngaleyo ndlela leyo sidingo sesibhedlela sesiyanzile kakhulu. Silibhodi nebasebenti bonke base ENHI sithandza kubonga uhulumende wembube ikakhulu sibonga nelitiko letempilo kanye na Standard Bank Eswatini nayo iNational Resource Mobilization Committee ne micro projects lekwatile kokuthi isisekele sisalungisa leliwadi lebe solo livaliwe iminyaka lemibili lendlulile ngesizathu sekusibeni ngakalungeli ukuthi lingasetshenziswa. Lokhu ke kuvula kwalo namuhla impela kuligcabho kithi ngoba leli wadi leli siphinze futhi sathola kokuthi labathinzekako ekubukeni inhlala kahle yebantu labanjenga municipal council wakaManzini kanye ne fire and emergency department sibasinikile kokuthi singakhona ukuchubeka silisebenzisa. Sibaka Eswatini Nazarene Health Institutions sibonga kakhulu uhulumende wembube sisebenzisana nelitiko letempilo ngokuthi silomsebenzi lona uphumelele. Siyatimisela futhi sibaka ENHI ngokuthi sitaqhubeka sibambisane nahulumende ekuthenini liphupho layo imbube lokuthi sifike ezingeni lemave ekuqala emhlabeni sifike singebantu baseSwatini. Ngiyabonga kakhulu inkosi inibusise.
Standard Bank.